planned my downfall for months, so life gave me the power to control theirs. Have you ever had the people closest to you conspire against you? That was me with my best friend Carson and girlfriend Isabel. I was pouring all my energy into my startup, working 80-hour weeks while Isabel would yell in my ear saying that I was wasting my time, even though I was trying to build a future for us. Carson was my co-founder and who I thought was my most trusted partner. He would comment saying, maybe take a break and let me fill in for you. The red flags were everywhere, but I was too focused on our product launch to notice. 2 weeks before our launch, Isabel broke up with me via text in the middle of an investor meeting. She said, if you care about your app so much, you might as well make it your girlfriend. I'm done with you. I looked up from my phone with what felt like multiple stabs in my chest, trying to keep professional, and I knew her timing wasn't coincidental. I was talking about this meeting for weeks, the most important meeting in my professional life. After the meeting, I ran to Carson's office hoping to get support from the man who's always been there for me, but he didn't, not even close. When I walked in, I saw him facing the opposite way of his desk, looking at the skyline view of the city from his office. He heard me burst in and said, perfect timing that you're here. I needed to talk to you. Not even letting me get a word in, he turned, grinning, saying, I'm leaving the company effective immediately. Don't take it personal. Shock, disbelief, and denial hit me all at once. My mind was racing with questions so much I felt dizzy. But I trusted you, I said, as he packed up his suitcase with an underlining smile. Straight evil. But compared to what he did right after, his resignation was the least of my worries. Within a month, Carson launched a competing app with our code, our business model, and Isabel as his head of marketing. Turns out they'd been planning this for months, maybe even longer. Isabel had been feeding Carson information about my investor meetings, and Carson had been copying our code base before he left. The kicker? They'd approached my investors with their improved version of the app. 3 of my 5 potential investors pulled out, saying Carson's team seemed more stable and experienced. My startup died within 6 months. I lost my apartment and moved back with my parents. Fast forward 2 years, I'm working at a mid-sized tech company, trying to slowly rebuild my life from devastation. Then one day, the most unexpected thing happened to me. I had dinner at my favorite Vietnamese restaurant, a tiny local one near my apartment, the kind of place with 6 tables and a grandmother cooking in the back. There was an older guy sitting at the table next to me, struggling with his laptop, clearly frustrated, saying, this damn computer is gonna kill me. Without thinking, I offered to help. His presentation software crashed, and he's got a board meeting in the morning. We spent 2 hours fixing his computer. Extremely grateful, he said, the least I can do is buy you dinner. Please, you saved my career. I sat and ate with him. His name was Brian Shu. We started meeting once a week for dinner at the same restaurant. He was in his 60s, recently divorced, and lonely despite being successful. I genuinely enjoyed our conversations. We barely brushed upon work. All I knew was that he worked in business development. Brian started inviting me to hiking trips, introducing me to his small circle of friends. For the first time in years, I feel like I had a genuine support system. He encouraged me to start coding passion projects again and celebrated small wins in my career. He became a mentor and friend rolled into one. After 8 months of friendship, Brian mentioned something that changed everything. He mentioned his company